subconscious breathers and infinite beings alike. What's going on? Whoa. So today's topic, we are talking about recycling emotions. Joe is in the house. Hello, brother. Much love to you. So we're talking about recycling emotions, non-physical and the physical. Now, many people, I guess it's going around, the buzz is going around in terms of, quote unquote, drinking your own waters or your recycling emotion. I want to give some awareness beyond that, because even in scientific studies on Orin, or your own water, Shivambu, however you want to describe it, the doctor himself who was studying this literally said it is more pure than distilled water itself. Wild. And many of you here in the comments earlier, you were saying how, you've tested the pH levels yourself, and it won't fool you, especially aged. You think the age is dead water, but no, it's more alive and more potent than ever, and it's literally purple. And what's purple? Purple is alkaline. Naturally alkaline, not the Kangen water that is dead water that they tried to sell you, and in hindsight, they're really just selling you hydrogen water. That's really what it is. I like how the scientist, he took the Kangen water and he was saying, look what happens when I add regular tap water. I just add a hydrogen, drops of hydrogen, that's it, and it comes out the same way. The whole bulb thing and everything came out the same exact way. Recycling emotions. So recycling emotions, I want to quickly go through other physical attributes when it comes to recycling emotions. And of course, water. Sure, if you want to go that deep, then let's go deep. Let's say you go to a restaurant. I was using a restaurant earlier, but I'll go quick. So let's say you go to the restaurant. Who is around you? What is around you? People that serve the food to you. You are going to be taking in all those emotions as you eat. You're literally taking in the emotions as you eat. All around you. That's why it's important. Here's a good hack. Whenever you go to a restaurant, if you're still that type of person that still likes to go out to restaurants or go out to eat, whatever it is, play frequencies in the background. Pray to your food as well, of course, for sure. Play frequencies in the background, and that creates like a bubble around you. Let's say you're sitting at a table, creates a nice harmonic bubble around you. It's like a force field, if you will. But that helps. And go to a place that you know has love in the food. Not many places do have quote unquote love in the food. And I used to be in the restaurant industry myself, so I know that even as I became quote unquote more aware, I literally saw that people it wasn't really the food. People are more interested in like just the routine that they get into of getting the food. But beyond that, especially diners, because I used to work in a diner long ago, and you work there every day, and you start seeing that people are more attached to the cook and the waiter, and just the type of ambiance that the diner may give off. And of course, the sugars in certain foods, depending on how it's made and stuff. But yeah, that's a physical part. You can even get into more physical in the psychological part as well. Let's say you're in an abusive relationship and you know it's abusive and you can get out of it, right? You can get out of it and you're not taking the actions. Well, you're recycling emotions right there. You're just letting it happen and recycle. I'm talking about people who have the opportunity to get out of it. Not people who can't, but I'm saying people who have the opportunity to get out of it, you're recycling emotions. If you're not taking the step and deep down you know, hey, if I leave now, I can save myself later. So many different hardships. So, let's get into the non-physical way of recycling emotions. We live in a sea of water, because it's not just air that we live in. It's not just air alone that you're inhaling. You're also inhaling water molecules. Water has memory, right? Water has memory. So if we know that it takes 3 days for the same exact breath that you breathe to circle all around the world and come back to you, what does that sound like to you? It sounds like recycled. It sounds like a recycling process. And there's a number 3 every day for me. I think I know, especially when you do the breathing patterns that we do. Many of you who are in the members group here or clients, I see some here too, you have noticed more synchronicities start to happen, right? No such thing as coincidences, because that same information that you're generating is going to recycle right back into your face in many different ways. So many different ways. Beyond numbers. And let's even go to numbers if you want to take it there. So, let's say you drive home safely. Can you fathom the algorithmic expression of the whole entire universe in so many mathematical equations to get you home safe? Like one speck of wind could have caused some person to just sneeze at the wheel behind you. He had his window open, or she, whatever it is, had the window open, and then he sneezed, that gust of wind, sneeze, hachu, gets off the brake or something, boom, hits you, you're dead. Can you just fathom? And that's why it's so powerful to be in gratitude at all times. At all times. That's why it's so powerful to just give gratitude in all aspects of your life and not just certain parts. So, we live in a vast world of, we literally live in a sea, a conscious sea, if you will. Again, water has memory. There's water in the air. So that person over there, he's close by you. He's withholding some emotions, if you will, or he's suppressing his anger. You're not angry right now. You're chill, right? But let's say you want to, you just get this urge or something doesn't feel right. Why do you think that is? That is emotions recycling right back into your plane of sight, your plane reality, if you will. It's recycling back to you. But how you react, now that's a ticket. How you react is a ticket. How you react is a ticket. And that's why it's so powerful to be more of the observer rather than someone acting. Wu Wei, Wu Wei. Yep, quantum entanglement. Yes, quantum entanglement. Indeed. And you know how it's a quantum entanglement? When you even look at water. Sure, water holds emotions. All right, let's go off. Let's go off that. When you go into the astral world, into the astral body, you still see clouds. So if you're seeing clouds, either in your dreams as well, by the way, you still see clouds in your dreams. What does that tell you? There's still water there, right? There's still water expressing itself in that matter. You may not, even wind itself in the astral realm, it's different than what you perceive it in the physical, like right now. It is so different. And that's why I'm pushing the knowledge of breath consciousness, because breath itself is a physical and non-physical entity. Dissolving energetic magnetism. Wherein does this emotion exist? Anything that moves, it's emotion. Because it's energy in motion, right? Just the waves. The waves can be violent or it can be calm. Even the waves itself can express itself through emotion. The wind can be calm. The wind can be subtle. The wind can be violent with tornadoes. Emotion. But in terms of violent, we may perceive it as violent, or we can just perceive it just an energy expressing itself. And rather than putting it into containers, why can't it just be energy expressing itself, even with anger? What if you already experience synchronicities without necessarily doing a particular breathing pattern, though being more and more conscious how important it is? So like I always say, quality breaths equals quality perception of reality, right? Right, we are the entire field of consciousness, indeed. So there's always going to be an emotional recycle. You can be the calmest Buddhist in a plane far away from society. You're still going to encounter anger, maybe some violent winds expressing itself, emotion. You're still going to experience calmness, softness, midday with the sun and the nice subtle breeze. You're still going to experience violent with the violent thunders and the raging sound. But it doesn't have to be, quote unquote, negative in those connotations. At the end of the day, this is a point I'm making. It is emotion, energy in motion, energy expressing itself. Does anyone want to go live? And the more you can accept that, the less judgment you will have on other people. If there is an emotional trigger, it is a sign that we have energetic dissonance somewhere in our soul configuration. I like that. Oh, she wants to go live. All right, let's go. Oh, Celeste, I got time, so I'm gonna give her I'm gonna give her 5 minutes, and then we can go live, Celeste. You're open. You're welcome to come on.
Okay.
Hello there.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good, and you?
Good. It's the first time I've ever done an Instagram live, so
Cool.
bear with me. Thank you for everything that you have shared. What has been coming up for me is that once we recognize that we have an emotional trigger, it is a sign that somewhere within our soul configuration, there is dissonance within the field. So it's like once we our soul consciousness and we feel a wave of emotion, like, okay, let me trace it back to its point of origin. Let me trace it back to the conception point so that I may disentangle at a quantum level from whatever experience is still circulating within my consciousness, within my soul configuration. So right now, if we look at what's happening collectively, we see a lot of, let's just throw it out there, victim perpetrator energetics in the collective level. And so anytime that somebody feels triggered on either side of that perception of duality, then they need to really go in and look at it quantumly. Where did I begin this journey as a victim, or where did I begin this journey as a perpetrator, and why is it coming up in this time space reality? Because if we collapse all timelines, we know that all time is now. There is no past, there is no future. It's all timelines running simultaneously. So if we can collapse it all into now, we know that we are just replaying and reacting out something that has happened quantumly within the field of our consciousness. So, yeah, there's a lot I think that can be discovered and explored, especially because emotion. Let's see what wants to come through. I'm just going to hold for a moment and tune into the sacral chakra, the womb of creation, the womb of sensuality, the womb, the space of sexuality and creative expression. Right. So understanding the expression of the emotion from a very neutral perspective. So if we can understand that within this third dimension, we are experiencing duality. And so if we have an emotion, whether it's depression or joy or anger and happiness, like understanding that it is a spectrum, right? And coming into neutral points and understanding the wisdom of the experience so that we no longer have to cycle through any lower dense emotions that are not allowing us to expand and express in our highest state of consciousness. So doing breath work, as you share often, is probably, I find, one of the most profound ways to change the geometry of emotion. So if you look at energy within a geometric configuration, or if you even look at it as a wave and understand that there is density or there is something locked by using the breath or using movement or using dance or just, whatever we've ourselves to use as a tool for breaking out of those energetic patterns, then we can start to experience more balanced emotions on a day-to-day state.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, I like how you said the sacred, like when you look at natural fractals, which is literally the blades of grass, the waves in the ocean, literally created by the wind intentionally.
Right.
And that's why I incorporated sacred geometry within alchemy breathwork, because if we can look at sacral fractals all around us expressing itself in different geometric patterns, the same can be applied to the breath and in that function.
Right, absolutely. And even like the geometry of water. So looking at the structure of water, knowing that we are more than, I think, 70%, but however much water we are, knowing that within our cellular structure, we are vibrating within a geometric pattern that is in resonance with our frequency. Right. So if you look at Dr. Emoto's work, and he froze, flash froze water to understand what the geometry looks like. And if you bless water, if you throw hate speech at water, it's very impressionable. It's like the most impressionable substance within the entire, realm of elements. So looking at that and allowing that to come back into a higher resonance by listening to frequencies or playing with sound, or really even just toning and using our own voice to bring the vagus nerve back into alignment, to bring the geometry of the water back into a higher expression, and just through intention and love and being in nature. Nature is source coding, you know?
Literally.
It's source code. So it's in our genetic expression.
And like I said, you can't beat your own source.
No.
You just can't. You can't. You can't.
Right.
You can't. And going back to Emoto, the strongest structure that they found was love and gratitude. So I also, you know, in the memories group, I tell everyone, have 1 week where you focus on love, gratitude, let go. On the next week, focus on manifestation. Every time they come back to manifestation, everyone feels like a real hard shift in their brain when they come back into that week. They're like, yep, well, now you know the power of love, and letting go is right. Really, really powerful, right?
Yes, absolutely. Love and gratitude, and then allowing for us to manifest our abundance through that experience, and to feel the support of all of existence and know that we are taken care of and we are loved, and allowing that to be the vibration that we send out to everyone, and holding that center within the collective consciousness at this time is the highest. It's the highest thing that we can do, is really to love ourselves in a way that allows that to fractal out in the collective consciousness. So it's like we become walking transmissions. I'm a walking transmission of love. So it doesn't matter, you know, if I don't really go into restaurants, but say I'm going into a store. If I go into a store, I know that my vibration of love is going to be the strongest resonance within that space. And I hold the intention to fractal that out to all the hearts, connecting all high hearts, activating all high hearts, so that the reflection that comes back to me is just that. It's like I paid my path in gold before I walked it, so that I could walk.
Before I let you go, just like you were saying, you know, you're expressing that's going to come back. Just like I said with the breath, it takes 3 days, the same exact exhale, to come right back to you. So I thank you for coming on here.
You're welcome. Thank you so much. Keep doing the.
And you're always welcome. Whenever I go live, you're always welcome to chime in. All right. Peace.
I just crossed you like last week, so I'll definitely chime in again. Thank you. One love.
Celeste, you said you wanted to come on. If you're still here, you're more than welcome to come on. All right. Live. So now we're going to wait for Celeste, if she's still here. I'm not sure if she's still here or not. There she is.
Hey.
What's up, sis?
What's up? I wanted to ask a question. Maybe other people here are curious about this too. You just finished saying it also, about the breath and how it takes 3 days for it to go around the earth and come back to you. Does that also apply to emotions and intentions, and how and does energy move differently within like the intention versus the breath?
I was gonna make a separate video for that, but okay, we'll get into it. Like, you know, one of the main consensus, I think we talked about this yesterday a little bit. I'm not sure if we did. When many people are saying with meditation, let go of what no longer serves you. You know, everything, in hindsight, everything serves us, right? On the exhale. And we say, exhale what no longer serves you. Everything serves you to a certain degree. And when you look at that, and when you look at just the mere fact that it takes 3 days, so the breath itself, yes, energy in motion. The breath is energy in motion itself. It's an emotional expression of life. There is an inhale and exhale happening simultaneously, all at once. And that's what's connecting us all together in terms of different emotions of expression of reality. Like you name it, it's all literally connected with that one exhale of life and that one inhale of life.
Hmm. And let's say somebody is in this emotionally recycling place, right? Like they
Mm.
continue to create the same patterns, they're continuing to think the same thoughts, they're continuing to feel the same emotions on a daily basis. What's something powerful that they can do to kind of like break that cycle that they're in to start moving in the momentum of something more positive or something more, I guess, like liberating for them, you know?
When I came back into society, I noticed how many people are breathing, and people don't realize how much it affects you. Like mirror breathing, for once, for one. Um, when that, oh man, one simple thing everyone can do right now is notice how you're breathing when you're around people who are expressing anger, people who doesn't have the highest good intention for you, if you will. You'll easily notice that your breath becomes shallow. Then that's an easy way to see and marker yourself around people in that aspect too. But even let's say you're claustrophobic and you know you're claustrophobic and you want to work on that simple aspect, then I would say be more uh, in nature in that aspect, because the closer you are to nature, the easier it is to oxidize. Even with the breath work, that's an amplified thing to do. But just being around in nature itself, because nature itself, it's more open. It's not claustrophobic. Everything is open. It's an open source.
Yeah, and like sister said a little while ago, that nature's literally fractal. It's literally sacred geometry. And once we just immerse ourselves in nature, our energy field begins to harmonize itself back to its harmonious frequency. And then what you were saying with the breath, I feel like the more we practice breath work, the more we recognize that we are not these emotions and we are not these thoughts. We're simply
Hmm.
the observer of them. And the breath allows you to become almost separate from these emotions and these thoughts. And that can also be like a really key pointer for someone who's trying to break out of those recycling patterns within themselves, to be able to observe them. And then now once you're observer, that's it. Like you're no longer attached to it, so they can no longer affect you.
So I had this. I love telling this story. I have this one monk client, and his max meditation time is always like 45 minutes. For some reason, he keeps on breaking out of 45 minutes. So we implemented different breathwork techniques going into meditation, because meditation alone, all it is, you're just observing the breath. And when you go into meditation itself, your many monks will tell you, or many yogis, however you want to describe it, many people who've done meditation for so many years, we said you need to be more of the observer, and you're exploring different parts of yourself, just observing. So the breath itself, if we shift certain patterns of how we breathe, we're observing different parts of our subconscious in that aspect. Let's say you're breathing a certain pattern when you're around many different people. That is seeped within your subconscious, and that can be reprogrammed. And if you're breathing at a healthier pace, if you will, in a different pattern, whenever you go back uh, into that portal of reality, uh, if you're more aware of your breath, that won't truly affect you as it used to, right? So we shifted the different mechanics, and when he went into meditation, he lasted all the way up to 3 hours afterwards. So the breath gives us an opportunity to uh, be more observant and observe different aspects of whatever we're channeling all at once into this vessel.
And within the observation, we can then become the alchemist and be
Bingo.
able to transmute that energy.
Right in the middle. Not this or that, but just right in the center.
Yep, I love it. Nice.
Beautiful. Let's see, what's this person saying? Be aware of the expression without being attached and programmed by the experience of the expression. Mm, I like that one.
We are energy in physical form.
Energy in motion. Everything is energy in motion. No matter how much you are still, your body is still vibrating at a certain rate. All these cells are moving all at once. And stillness reminds us that even being still, nature can still express itself and move and express throughout all of life.
And sometimes stillness is a big key to transmuting energy as well, because I did a 10-day silent meditation. We were in meditation for 10 hours a day, and you had to sit in bondage and not move and just let your breath be. And the amount of healing and transmutation of energy that I experienced within those 10 days was more than I've done while I was moving.
Mm-hmm.
It was so profound. Energy will make its way through any facet that is open for it to make its way through.
That's beautiful. Just like water. Just like water. The water, people may not perceive the water going through a dam, but it may settle on the floor, but in due time, it'll precipitate into the air and then go over the dam via rain showers.
Mm-hmm.
So stillness in itself is super powerful.
Absolutely. Beautiful. Thanks for having me on here.
No problem, sister. You're always welcome on here.
Cool. All right. That's all I got.
Peace.
Peace.
All right. Any other questions before I get out? All right. Someone says, everything is here to serve instead of letting go. How can we let it in and let it deep? That's a good question. One of the main questions you can ask yourself when you are encountered with that is, how can I grow from this very situation, this situation right now? How can I grow? That is one of the most powerful questions that shifted my life dramatically. And that even helps with cravings. How can I grow from this? How can I grow? Because you have the option to put yourself in a deep, shallow hole where you perceive there's no growth. And just like me and my sister Celeste, we said, stillness, you can even grow dramatically in stillness. If you were to pick up a tree right now and put a tree at let's say this palm tree, we pick up this palm tree, we place it into a next park. How fast do you think the roots will connect to that palm tree? How fast do you think the roots will connect to that palm tree in a next park? If we were to pick up the same exact palm tree and just place it somewhere else, how fast do you think it'll connect? Man, that's even a deeper insight of reality. All right, I got 6 minutes, so maybe we can even dive into that. So it's not truly stagnation, but see, even the roots of that palm tree, there's memory, there's a nervous system. And depending how deep that nervous system is in place, by the time it's ready to go to the next park, it'll take some time to connect, but as long as your awareness is there that my roots are there, then at least you'll have the patience for it. And patience It's truly a powerful thing. Does anyone else want to go live before I get off here? Or any more questions or insights you'd like to share? I think I'm going to end it off here. It's a great combo, guys. Thank you all for joining. Thank you all for sharing the breath. And have a wonderful day. Peace.
Wholeness. I'm just coming out of a session with Devon, and it was very powerful. Wow. I can definitely feel the vibrations to my body, because when you reach certain level of oxygenation in your body, then you start to feel the vibrations. Literally your body starts to vibrate and you feel alive. You feel that energy going through all your body. You feel the warmth. It's so powerful. I just woke up and I'm like full of energy, feel so awake and so alive. I recommend everybody just do the sessions that Devon offers. It's truly amazing. Wholeness.